versus Canelo. Saturday, November 21st, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, live on pay-per-view.
Welcome to everyone who is joining us on digital platforms across the United States and around the world. I am Kira Mulvaney from HBO, and I am coming at you live from the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. We are just moments away from the final pre-fight press conference for Saturday's big middleweight clash between Miguel Cotto and Saul Canelo Alvarez. As you may be able to see, the dais behind me is starting to fill up with Team Canelo, with Team Cotto, with others involved in the promotion and the broadcast. The fighters are waiting in the wings, ready for their appearance. But before we get to them, and we will have an opportunity to speak to them after the press conference. Before we do that, let's talk to a couple of the folks involved in putting this promotion together. And let's begin right now with the promoter of Miguel Cotto, Michael Yormark. He is the president of Rock Nation Sports. Michael, thanks very much for joining us. This is Rock Nation Sports' first boxing pay-per-view. How has the experience been for you so far?
You know, it's been terrific. We've been on the big stage before, Rock Nation, with major events, global events around the world. But this is our first time doing a major event within the boxing industry. So it's been a learning process, but it's been a lot of fun, and we can't wait to get to Saturday.
For Rock Nation Sports, this is a little bit of an adventure in that primarily before getting involved in boxing, you've been involved in representing athletes. But for Rock Nation as a whole, actually putting on events is not a new development for you.
It's not. I mean, we do big tours, we do big music festivals. When you have artists like Jay-Z and Rihanna and Shakira, you're used to the big stage. But again, you know, this is a different kind of stage for us. I mean, we have never done this before in the world of boxing. We've only been in the business for 15 months. So again, it's been a learning process, but it's been a lot of fun.
Talking about the crossover between Rock Nation Sports and Rock Nation more broadly. Last time when we had Miguel Cotto fighting Daniel Gill, there was a performance from Big Sean before the fight. Are we going to have something like that on the pay-per-view?
We will. We're very excited that Yandel from Puerto Rico will be performing at the event on Saturday. He's very, very excited, and it should add another element of entertainment to a great night of boxing.
I've got to ask, you came to Rock Nation Sports from organized sports. You were the president, I think, and CEO of the Florida Panthers in the National Hockey League. You know, Florida Panthers, you know when you're going to play Winnipeg, you know when you're going to play Pittsburgh, you know ultimately the best teams meet in the playoffs and they meet in the Stanley Cup. It's not always like that in boxing. What's it been like coming from the organized sports world to the Wild West of boxing?
I will tell you the one biggest difference are the sanction fees. But all kidding aside, the differences are tremendous. But we've enjoyed, the boxing industry. It's a learning process for us because it is so different. We've met a lot of great people, a lot of great promoters. We've had the opportunity to work with Oscar and his team for this fight. So we're still getting our feet wet, but we're learning and we're moving forward, and it's been a lot of fun.
I'm curious as to what you look for when you sign a fighter to Rock Nation Sports. Why specifically, for example, Miguel Cotto?
You know, with Miguel, we wanted to get into the pay-per-view business. Obviously, if you're going to make it big in this business, you need a big fighter. And although we're going to grow our boxing division from the grassroots, we felt it was important to have a cornerstone. And Miguel was available. We know he's one of the premier fighters of all time. He's a living legend, 4-time world champion. And he's a pay-per-view fighter. So in order for us to really develop credibility in this sport, we needed somebody like Miguel, and we were very fortunate to sign him.
Obviously, you were hoping to have Andre Ward on this card. He wasn't able to perform because of knee issues, but Guillermo Rigondao is now a new addition to the Rock Nation Sports stable. Tell me about your relationship with him, and he's going to be on that pay-per-view card.
Well, it's a new relationship. He is one of the top, pound-for-pound fighters in the world. He's an elite boxer. We're very excited to have him. We've got big plans for him. Very anxious to see him on Saturday night. It worked out well for us, although we would have liked to have Andre as well.
But still hoping to have Andre obviously back next year and moving up to the light heavyweight division.
He is. 2016 will be a big year for Andre Ward. He'll fight multiple times, and hopefully it'll all culminate with a big showdown with Kovalev in the fall.
Finally, what do you think fans can expect this Saturday between your guy Miguel Cotto and Canelo Alvarez?
Just a lot of action. Unlike the other big fight that we experienced a couple of months ago, the reality is these two fighters come to fight. They don't come to dance. They come to entertain. And so I think you're going to see a lot of action. Fans that are in the arena or fans watching at home will get their money's worth. So it should be a great night of boxing, a great night of entertainment. And again, we're looking forward to it.
Thank you very much indeed. Michael Yormark, he is the president of Rock Nation Sports. He is the promoter of Miguel Cotto. I'm joined now by a young man who's seen a few fights, been in a few fights, including in this very venue, Mandalay Bay. He is the pioneer, really, of boxing at the Mandalay Bay. Oscar De La Hoya, the president and CEO of Golden Boy Promotions. He is the promoter of Saul Canelo Alvarez. Oscar, like I said, you've been in so many of these fights yourself. It's the Wednesday of fight week. These guys are a couple days away from fighting. They've seen each other a lot. They've looked in each other's eyes. They've been at press conferences. Are they sick of each other by now? What's their mindset?
Well, they want to perform. They want to be in the ring now. They're anxious. There's a lot of adrenaline running through the fighters' veins, and they just want to get up there and fight. But the fact that it's Wednesday and we're feeling all this energy and the electricity in the air. I've been in a lot of fights before. I've been involved in the biggest events in the history of the sport. And this feels like a major event. And that's what we're going to get on Saturday night. We're going to get a great fight.
Occasionally, of course, bad blood does spill over. I think about you and Fernando Vargas at this venue where things got a little heated. These guys, pretty cool, calm, and collected. I don't think we're going to see any nonsense from either of these guys.
Well, but we will see it on Saturday night. When you have two guys who are calm, they're cool, they're collective, you know you're in for a war. You know you're in for a great fight. History shows it. I mean, you go back to the days where you have it's a gentleman's sport, but inside the ring, anything goes. And I'm excited. I really am, because Saturday night, there's a lot at stake. Not only for their countries, not only to see who is the best, but pride is at stake. And in boxing, that means everything.
Tell me a little bit about, you mentioned their countries, the Mexico-Puerto Rico rivalry. How important is that?
They are going to fight with passion. And that's the difference with having Mexico behind you, Puerto Rico behind you with Miguel Cotto. The fans are in for a special treat, because this rivalry goes back many, many years, many generations. You go back to the Julio Cesar Chavez days against Edwin Rosario and Hector Macho Camacho. You can make an argument about me and Felix Trinidad of how big that event was. This Saturday night, there's more at stake than just pride and countries. And these fighters, they want to see who is the best. They want to see who can come out on top and be the guy, the ambassador for many years to come.
What does your guy Canelo have to do to beat Miguel Cotto?
He has to be him. He has to understand and accept that he is more than ready for this fight, and have the confidence to fight his own fight and have plan B, have plan C, and go through adversity, walk through the fire, not let it burn you. You have to walk through it, because you have to understand in your head that you are going to walk through fire, because this is that type of fight. You're going to maybe have to go down, but you're going to have to come back up and fight and win.
Fantastic. Oscar De La Hoya, the president and CEO of Golden Boy Promotions, the promoter of Canelo Alvarez. Thank you very much indeed. So yes, as Oscar said, both guys are going to have to walk through some fire to get to victory. And you know, what better way to get a sense of where they are than to actually hear from the fighters themselves. They are pretty much ready to make an entrance. And so to get this press conference underway, I'm going to throw it to Tattoo to introduce the fighters as they make their way to the dais. Tattoo, take it away.
Thank you very much. We are live from the Mandalay Bay Theater here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions, Rock Nation Sports. Really quick, I want to introduce some legends here on stage. Of course, the alien Bernard Hopkins, Hall of Famer. Oscar De La Hoya, president of Golden Boy Promotions, and Hall of Fame trainer, Mr. Freddy Roach. So it's an honor to be on stage with these great legends. This Saturday, November 21st, live on HBO pay-per-view, Puerto Rico versus Mexico. Now it's time to introduce the fighters. Making his way to the stage first, his professional record, 45 wins, 1 loss, with 32 wins by way of knockout. He is a former two-time world champion, representando Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, Saul El Canelo Alvarez. And now, ladies and gentlemen, his professional record, 40 victories, 4 defeats, 33 wins by way of knockout. He is the current Ring Magazine and lineal middleweight world champion. De Caguas, Puerto Rico, Miguel Ángel Cotto.
The great Sugar Ray Robinson once said, "Rhythm is everything in boxing. Every move you make starts with your heart, and that's in rhythm or you're in trouble." When you think about these two great champions that sit before you, Miguel Cotto and Canelo Alvarez, I think it's fair to say that everything they do comes from the heart. Because when they step into that ring on Saturday night, under the lights of the Mandalay Bay Event Center and HBO pay-per-view, not only will they be fighting for themselves and their own glory, but also for the pride and glory of their family, their fans, and their country. Come Saturday, they will add yet another chapter to the storied boxing rivalry between Puerto Rico and Mexico. The culmination of months of preparation. Everything they have done to this point has been rhythmic dance toward the inevitable confrontation. The training, the strategy, the interviews, the promotion, the pride, and commitment. All are very deliberate dance before these two future Hall of Famers finally stand toe-to-toe under the lights of America's playground. This is undisputably the fight of the year. It's one of the best dollar-for-dollar values in HBO pay-per-view history, and is set up to be one of the greatest examples of boxing action and skill of the last decade. But this epic event would not have been possible without the hard work and support of so many. So I'd like to take this moment to thank the following people and organizations. Rock Nation's owners, including our chairman, Jay-Z, and president of sports, Juan Perez, who shared their passion for boxing, which has led us to where we are today, just hours from one of the biggest events in the sport's history. Rock Nation staff, and specifically the entire team at Rock Nation Sports and our boxing division, including Dave Iskowitz, Dino Duva, and Josh Roy. Miguel Cotto Promotions, Golden Boy Promotions, Canelo Promotions, Puerto Rican sensation Yandel for his upcoming live performance on Saturday night, and our partners and sponsors for this great evening of entertainment. Corona Extra, the movie Creed, Mexico, Live It to Believe It, O'Reilly Auto Parts, who has also worked with Fathom to make the fight available in select theaters around America. Tequila Cazadores, Corporate Travel Made Simple, CTMS, and Cabal Premium Mexican Wine. MGM Resorts International and Mandalay Bay, and of course, Richard Sturm. HBO pay-per-view and their leadership of Ken Hirschman, Mark Taffet, and Peter Nelson. Closed circuit distributor Joe Hand, who has worked with Mandalay Bay to make the fight available for viewing on site for only $75 a ticket. And last but not least, the incredible staff at Mandalay Bay that has truly rolled out the red carpet for us this week. Speaking of people who helped make this fight a reality, I would now like to introduce a great fighter and a great fight promoter, Golden Boy Chairman and CEO Oscar De La Hoya.
Thank you very much, Michael. Muchas gracias. Gracias por estar aquí. Thank you for all being here. There's nothing like Fight Week. I've been participating in these events for longer than I can remember, and it never gets old. And today, I am confident that we have a fight in store for the fans that is going to compete with all the all-time great battles that this city has ever seen. Miguel Cotto versus Canelo Alvarez, Puerto Rico versus Mexico, puncher versus puncher, young lion against an older lion. This fight has all the makings of an instant classic for the lineal middleweight world championship, and at least for Canelo, the WBC World Championship. But regardless of what belt are on the line, Cotto versus Canelo will deliver everything fans want to expect to see in the ring: action, intensity, and power. Before we go further, I want to quickly thank some people who made this event possible. First of all, HBO. This will be Canelo's second fight on the network since signing an exclusive agreement with HBO. Last September, HBO wants to show the best fights, fights that pit the best against the best, and it's the best network in the world for boxing. I'm pleased Cotto versus Canelo will be televised live on HBO pay-per-view, and I'm proud of the relationship that Golden Boy Promotions has with everyone in the HBO family. Also, thank you to our sponsors for their support: Corona Extra, Mexico, Live It to Believe It, O'Reilly Auto Parts, Tequila Cazadores, and Corporate Travel Made Simple. Now let's talk about a little bit of the rivalry between Puerto Rico and Mexico. This fight between Cotto and Canelo represents the next super fight in the long-standing Mexico-Puerto Rico rivalry, an intense rivalry that dates back to the 1930s. Between Cotto and Canelo, they have 6 world titles, more than any other two fighters in the history of the Mexico versus Puerto Rico rivalry. A title fight between two supreme athletes and a long-standing rivalry between their home countries all points to this being an incredible fight, and one that boxing needs at this time, and one that the fans deserve. See you here at the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino. If you can't make it in person, don't miss it on HBO pay-per-view. It is my pleasure now to introduce to you the president of the WBC, Mauricio Sulaiman.
Good afternoon, muy buenas tardes. What we do in life goes an eternity. That was said by Maximus, the gladiator. And what we can say is that we're responsible for what we do, and we have to be proud, and we have to walk tall. I am extremely proud for this fight to happen. It took many years. It's a fight that many fight fans wants to see all over the world, and I am sure it's going to be a great event. The reason for all of us to be here is to celebrate this highly anticipated match between two icons. Canelo Alvarez, Miguel Cotto, representing their countries, representing their legacy, and their pride to see who's going to win on Saturday night. I am very happy to see very dear faces. Mr. Richard Sturm, who is one of the greatest assets that boxing in the world has. HBO, my friends from HBO, the two promotions. I had a great pleasure to travel with them to New York, Los Angeles, Puerto Rico, and Mexico. I enjoyed this tour very much, and I'm just very proud that the WBC was able to work tirelessly for 2 years to make sure that the fight happened for the fans of the world. I would like to wish both fighters the best of luck. Both of them are very good friends of the WBC, very good friends of the Sulaiman family. May God bless them, and may the best man win on Saturday night. Thank you very much.
As I mentioned earlier, this historic event would not have been possible without the commitment and the support of MGM Resorts International, the Mandalay Bay Event Center. Las Vegas is truly the spiritual home of all big boxing events. And I want to sincerely thank MGM Resorts President of Sports and Entertainment, Richard Sturm, for his passion for the sport and vision to host this incredible match right here at Mandalay Bay. It is now my honor to introduce Richard to say a few words about the event and his amazing facility.
Thanks very much, Michael. Good afternoon, everyone. To the media in attendance and the thousands of fans watching worldwide, we are excited to host this highly anticipated clash of these two champions. It's a pleasure to host Miguel Cotto and Canelo Alvarez at Mandalay Bay, as they both will undoubtedly bring a high level of intensity into the ring Saturday night. With these two warriors returning to Las Vegas, they will provide fans with an exciting evening of world-class boxing. I'd like to give a special thanks to Michael Yormark and the entire Rock Nation sports team, Oscar de la Hoya and the Golden Boy promotion staff, Team Cotto, Team Alvarez and their respective teams, our good friends at HBO, and Bob Bennett of the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Once again, thanks everyone for being here. Look forward to seeing you Saturday night. It's going to be one of the great fights of the year. Thank you.
While the team at MGM Resorts International prepares to deliver an epic live boxing and entertainment experience to the fans on Saturday night, it'll be Mark Taffet and his team at HBO pay-per-view that will deliver this legendary matchup to the people watching at home and in sports bars across America. I must applaud the entire team at HBO for their commitment to this fight, but also for their foresight in presenting the best dollar-for-dollar pay-per-view value possible. It is truly a testament to HBO's commitment to the sport and its very passionate fan base to make Saturday's can't-miss fight accessible to the masses. Clearly, we all think Cotto Canelo is going to be one of the most action-packed, can't-miss fights of the last decade. And thanks to HBO, we expect a massive television audience on Saturday night. So now, please welcome to the podium a businessman that I truly admire and respect, Senior Vice President of HBO Sports Operations, Mr. Mark Taffet.
Thank you very much, Michael, for those kind words, particularly directed to the folks on HBO pay-per-view who worked so hard on this promotion and on every fight that we do. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us today and for being here early in the week of what will be an outstanding week and one you'll remember forever. I can't even begin to describe how excited I am to be here, not just working on this event, but as a boxing fan for what is one of the most special matchups in the sport today, seen Saturday night on HBO pay-per-view. Cotto Canelo is a true pay-per-view mega fight by every possible measure. It features two of boxing superstars who have competed against the biggest stars that have been put in front of them over and over. And it would be the biggest fight of the year in any other year in which it took place. It represents another great installment in the historic Mexico versus Puerto Rico rivalry, with many people believing that it will surpass the action of even the great Trinidad Vargas fight when the bell sounds on Saturday night. Both Canelo and Miguel are coming off exhilarating signature wins live on HBO earlier this year, with Canelo versus Kirkland generating 2.1 million viewers, and Cotto versus Gil delivering 1.6 million viewers. And every one of those viewers can't wait to see Cotto and Canelo get into the ring again, and it will happen this Saturday night. Their fans adore them. They know that both Cotto and Canelo carry their respective nations on their backs every time they enter the ring. In short, if you're a sports fan, Cotto Canelo is worth your time, worth your money, and is likely to be a fight that you will talk about for years and years to come. This fight is the real deal, and fans know it. Make no mistake about it. Saturday night is going to be something special and something memorable. One programming note I want to make. Please make sure you catch the final episode of 24/7 Cotto Canelo when it premieres on HBO tomorrow, Thursday night, at 11 p.m. Eastern and Pacific. And of course, tune in to HBO pay-per-view on Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific, for what will be an incredibly passionate crowd and a great fight at Mandalay Bay, which we will bring right into the living rooms of America. I want to thank Michael, his team at Rock Nation, Oscar, his team at Golden Boy, for all of the hard work that they've done. Oscar running around the nation reminded me of the type of efforts he put in as a young man back in the early 1990s and throughout all of his career. And to Miguel and to Canelo, I want to thank you for bringing this fight to the fans and wish you both the best to give a memorable, memorable performance that you and all of us will be proud of on Saturday night. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. To us Latinos, to us Hispanics, whether you're Mexican American, whether you were born here in the U.S., to the Mexican nationals, to Puerto Ricans, to all Latinos all over the world, you must understand this is our Super Bowl. This is an event that not one Latino, not one Hispanic is going to miss. This is how important this fight is to us. This is how important this fight is to the fighters. Mexico versus Puerto Rico is like no other event for the Mexican national, for the Puerto Rican living in New York, from Puerto Rico, the island, la isla del encanto. This is our Super Bowl, and this is how important this event is. Este evento es sumamente importante para nosotros latinos, para nosotros hispanos, sea mexicano de México, sea puertorriqueño, sea el puertorriqueño que vive en Nueva York, el México-americano que vive en California, en Texas, en Chicago. Esta pelea para nosotros es lo mismo comparado a un Super Bowl, por ejemplo. Esta es nuestro evento que ni un mexicano, ni un puertorriqueño, ni un México-americano se va a perder. Esto es lo que significa. Este evento es tan importante para nosotros, por eso es tan grande este evento para nosotros. It is my pleasure to introduce to you a man who knows a thing or two about the middleweight division and about making a record 20 defenses. He's a future Hall of Famer, and I'm proud to call him my partner and friend, the great Bernard Hopkins. Bernard.
Trust me, I'm going to be short. Y'all don't believe me. First, I'd like to thank everybody up here, Freddy, Roach, Mr. Sturm, everybody up here, my friends, Mr. Sulaiman, WBC, well-respected, first title. The boxing recognized, and boxing people in the business recognize it, and I respect it, and always will. Bragging rights. Now, we in the sport that we all know, like any sport, you want to be the best and you want to say you're the best, but you know, you want to prove it too. Very few really prove it the way that they talk it. So I'm just, first of all, I want to thank Cotto and also Canelo, because without them wanting to fight, we've seen this over and over, and we wind up hearing soap operas about why fights don't happen. If the fighters want to fight and they have a control over their life and their destiny and with what they want to be and what they want to be recognized at, they'll make the fight, and we have that. So that's a plus not only for their career and their legacy, but it's a plus for boxing. It's a plus for boxing in a lot of ways, through mainstream sports, mainstream business people that's not in our sport, but watch our sport for good or bad reasons. So I'm glad to be a part of the middleweight division. At this time, middleweight division is something, as you know, is dear to me. And it's something that I always tell people, it started from the middleweight division. My foundation, my history, my legacy started from 160. And as Oscar mentioned, you know about the defenses. You know about 12 years, 11 and a half years I reigned as a middleweight champion. And to see that the middleweight division, that I have a extremely biased opinion about, because I respect it so much that I stayed there so long and made the best that I could, and even above that. Thanks, Miguel. Thanks, Canelo for giving us this mega fight that's coming up at the end of the year. Now, I pay attention to math, and I pay attention to the year. And boxing always seemed in the last few years start off real big. Everybody's talking. And then it sort of fades into Never Never Land sometime at the end of the year in a long time. And for a long time, people asked me back in Philly, where there's a big pay-per-view market there and viewers that like big fights like this, love it. When the next big fight? Next year? This year, I responded with the October fight, Lemieux and Triple G. And now, this fight coming up Saturday on HBO pay-per-view. I don't know, maybe y'all keeping score. It's been a long time since we had 2, 3 mega fights, Mr. Sulaiman, in 1 year. In 1 year. And they don't have to get a second mortgage to watch these fights. They can buy these fights and be proud that they got a chance to support their countrymen. So thanks again. And you know what? If anyone think that boxing, for some reason, in the last year and a half, because I had to do so many interviews, that boxing is somehow forgotten about, this is why boxing is not forgot about and never will. Thank you.
Thank you, Bernard. And now it is my pleasure to introduce to you Team Canelo. First off, I am pleased to introduce to you a man who has been with Canelo since the beginning of his career, as an amateur, as a professional. He is the head trainer for Saul Canelo Alvarez, Eddie Reynoso.
Buenas tardes a todos los aquí presentes.
Good afternoon to everyone.
Y antes que nada, pues felicitar aquí a Saúl por todo el empeño y la dedicación que mostró a lo largo de todo el campamento.
And I also want to congratulate Saul for his dedication, for all the hard work and everything he did, all the sacrifices he put throughout camp.
Gracias a eso logramos una gran preparación y pues solo decirles que el sábado estamos listos para ganar el segundo título del organismo más prestigioso en el boxeo, que es el Consejo Mundial de Boxeo. Muchísimas gracias.
And to let everybody know, and to let everyone know that we're prepared, that we're ready to win our second world title, WBC title, on Saturday night, November 21st. Thank you very much.
Also, I'd like to welcome up to the podium, he is the manager and co-trainer for Saul Canelo Alvarez. He is Chepo Reynoso.
Muy buenas tardes a todos ustedes. De veras, gracias por su asistencia, por todo lo que están apoyando a esta gran función.
Good afternoon to everyone. I want to thank you for your assistance and thank you all for the support that you're doing for this great event.
En el equipo de Canelo tenemos un principio que dice, lo que se hace bien no puede salir mal.
In the team, in the Canelo team, we have a saying that starts by saying, what you do right cannot have a bad outcome.
Durante 14 semanas trabajamos con entusiasmo. No hubo un día que nos levantáramos sin esa alegría, sin ese entusiasmo, sin esos deseos de avanzar, de progresar, de ver el 21 de noviembre al Canelo con el brazo en alto. Ningún día nos levantamos de malas, siempre con el entusiasmo, con el optimismo, con los deseos de trabajar.
We worked very hard during 14 weeks in camp, and not one day was it without enthusiasm, motivation, hard work, and knowing that everything was going to pay off on November 21st when we saw Canelo's hand raised in victory.
Pero ahora, después de 14 semanas, vemos los resultados. Vemos a un Canelo como nunca, con ese entusiasmo, con esa ilusión, con esos deseos de ser el más grande.
And now, after 14 weeks of hard work, we see him. We're a few days away with the same enthusiasm, with the same motivation to be big, to be the champion, to be one of the best.
En el equipo de Canelo también decimos, las peleas se ganan en el gimnasio. En el cuadrilátero solo te levantan la mano y eso va a pasar el sábado. Muchas gracias.
And also another saying that we have in the team, the fights are won in the gym. In the ring, they're just going to raise your hand. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you Saturday night.
Thank you very much. And now, I'd like to introduce to you former two-time super welterweight world champion. At just 25 years old, he has already conquered much of the boxing world. He has captivated fans around the world with his action-packed fighting style, with his charisma, and with his willingness to take on the toughest challenges. And obviously, this is no exception. He last fought James Kirkland in front of 31,000 people at the Minute Maid Park in Houston, where he had an incredible, impressive knockout in the third round. Many say that can be the knockout of the year. I would like to introduce to you de Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. He is the Mexican superstar Saul Canelo Alvarez.
Bueno, no, solamente quiero agradecerles todo el apoyo que me han brindado, que le han brindado a la función.
Oh, I just want to thank you all for all the support that you've given me and the support you've given this great event.
Agradecerle a toda la gente el recibimiento que me dan a cada uno de los lugares que voy. Estoy muy agradecido con todos ellos.
Also the reception that everyone, each and every one of you give me everywhere I go, I'm very grateful to you.
Hice una gran preparación, ya gracias a Dios estamos a días de la pelea, solamente esperando con ansias y a la misma vez paciencia para que llegue el día y subirme a hacer mi trabajo y al final de la pelea que me levanten el brazo.
I've had a great preparation, worked very hard, anxious, we're only a few days away, but patiently waiting for Saturday night to have my hand raised once again.
Será una gran pelea, lo sé, es una pelea muy dura, pero estamos listos para este gran reto que tenemos enfrente y estoy muy motivado por esto. Muchas gracias a todos por el apoyo.
It's going to be a difficult fight, I know that, but that's why I prepared properly and we're ready to give you a great, great fight. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you, Saul. Before Michael Yormark calls up Team Cotto, I just received a message with all the controversy surrounding his comments. Even Donald Trump is going to buy this fight. Imagine that. So that's how big it is. Michael?
Thank you for that news, Oscar. For now, we introduce Team Cotto. One of the things that I truly admire about a champion like Miguel Cotto is his sense of family and his sense of team. He knows that he's only as good as the team around him. And in Hector Soto, he has one of the most passionate, experienced, and sincere men in the entire boxing industry. Hector is truly a class act, and one of the big reasons Miguel has all of the success he has achieved in his career. So it is my honor to introduce, from Team Cotto, Hector Soto.
Buenas tardes a todos.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Quiero agradecer a nuestro socio Ron Nation, a Golden Boy Promotion, a Canelo Promotion, por hacer realidad este evento, a HBO Pay-Per-View y al señor Sturm por estar aquí en la tarde de hoy.
I want to say thank you to Rock Nation, to Golden Boy Promotions, Cotto Promotions, Canelo Promotions, HBO, and Mr. Sturm from the Mandalay Bay. Thank you.
Agradecer también la presencia de nuestro amigo Mauricio Sulaiman por estar aquí en la tarde de hoy.
I also want to say thank you to our friend Mauricio Sulaiman for being here present this afternoon.
De este sábado van a ser ustedes testigos de lo que yo diría la mejor pelea en los pasados 10 años.
This Saturday, all of us will witness probably the best fight in the last 10 years.
Miguel Cotto, en los pasados 8 semanas, ha trabajado duro y este próximo sábado veremos los resultados de este gran trabajo para esta gran pelea. Muchas gracias a todos y buenas tardes.
For the last 8 weeks, Miguel Cotto has trained very hard to get ready for this fight. So thank you, everybody, and we'll see you Saturday night.
Miguel Cotto once said that Freddy Roach is Scottie Pippen to his Michael Jordan. That should tell you all you need to know about Freddy's influence on Miguel's performances in the ring since they joined forces in 2014. Simply put, Freddy Roach is a legend in the fight game. And as fans, we are so lucky to see him ringside, as we are to see champions like Cotto and Canelo inside the ring. Now, I know Freddy has a very specific strategy in mind for this upcoming fight, as well as a very bold prediction. So hopefully, he's willing to share some of those thoughts with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Freddy Roach.
Thank you. Miguel's had a great training camp. We've worked very hard for this fight. I'd like to thank Team Cotto, everyone that was involved. Thank you for all your help. And we're 100% ready for this fight, the biggest fight of the year, and Miguel's ready. I've never seen him better than this. Thank you.
I have worked in the sports and entertainment industry for over a quarter of a century. And I have worked with and spent time with athletes in nearly every sport. I have never, I repeat, never seen an athlete as committed to performing the task in front of them as Miguel Cotto is for this fight. There are over 300,000 compliments I could pay the champ Miguel Cotto. But one thing I can tell you is when I visited him in training camp, I walked away literally exhausted by his effort, his passion, and his commitment. And I came away feeling pretty bad for Canelo. It is clear that Miguel Cotto fights for a purpose well beyond himself. He fights for family, and he fights for country. He knows the history of Puerto Rico versus Mexico rivalry. He knows that Puerto Rico currently holds the advantage, and he fully intends to extend that advantage on Saturday night. And now, without further ado, the champ, the legend, the future Hall of Famer, Miguel Cotto.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, everybody, to be here. We are hours away from the fight. We just had a good training camp in LA, 7 weeks, one week here. There's going to be 8 weeks for this fight, and all I have to say is that I'm ready for the fight. I know Canelo and his team is ready too, and let's get this fight what the fans need from us. Thank you.
I believe that concludes our press conference. I think we're ready for photos now. Okay. Oscar?
Right.
Okay, guys, really quick announcement. Canelo is going to do print press first. And please line up on this side. Monica will let you in. Canelo, please sit down on the table. He's going to have a quick round table with some writers. No, just wait. All the cameras, please wait. Cameras, everybody with cameras, please wait. We want to make sure this is organized. We want to get the writers first around in the round table with Canelo. Writers only now, for now, please. Cameras, everybody wait. Only writers. We just want to make sure this is organized and everybody gets time.
Miguel Cotto, thank you very much for joining us. 3 days to go now until your big fight. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good. Just ready for Saturday to make the fight.
If you retired tomorrow, you'd be a Hall of Famer on the first ballot. What motivates you to keep going, to keep pushing yourself through this? You could pick very much easier ways to earn a living.
Everything I do in life is for my family. I think I can still providing good things for my family, and the only thing I know how to do good is boxing.
What do you think of the boxer you're facing on Saturday, Saul Canelo Alvarez?
He is a good fighter. I know he's going to bring his best, as we're going to do the same.
Finally, what do you expect to happen? What is the keys to victory for you?
It's just follow our path, follow Freddy's path on the fight, and I have no doubt we are going to be the winners.
Thank you very much. That is Miguel Cotto. He is the Ring Magazine and lineal middleweight champion of the world. He will be defending his title against Saul Canelo Alvarez on Saturday. But first of all, before we get a chance to talk to Canelo, we're going to talk to Miguel Cotto's trainer, Freddy Roach. Freddy, you said with some confidence that your guy is going to knock out Canelo Alvarez. What makes you so confident?
You know, I watched a lot of tape on him. I study him quite a bit, and we have a great plan to go in there and break him down, and break a fighter down and take him out in the late rounds. I think all fights should end in knockout, so no different for this one.
Is there anything though about Canelo that gives you pause, that you're a bit worried about?
Well, you know, he does have a good right hand. He's heavy-handed there. But, I mean, if you lay on the ropes or do things like that, you might get in trouble with him. But as long as we stick to the game plan, no problem whatsoever.
Since you've been working with Miguel, he's looked like a fighter reborn. He's looked like the young Miguel Cotto, but with some extra experience and power. What's been the key to the success to bringing Miguel back?
Just bring him back to what he used to do. When he was a good boxer, on his toes, movement, fast hands, not sitting in the pocket too long and trying to look for a knockout. Because if you do that, you're bound to get hit in the pocket if you stay there too long. So it's one shot in and one shot out. So he's very disciplined now, and he's fighting much smarter.
You talk about the discipline. What is it like working with Miguel? Obviously, you've worked with a lot of fighters. You said that he's a real joy to work with. Is that partly because of his discipline and his determination to work with you?
Of course. I mean, 5 a.m. every morning. I try to beat him, but he beats me every day. So, I mean, the morning workout's great, and the boxing workout at 1 o'clock to 3:30, 4 o'clock. His sparring. He's just a very good guy to be around, and just a great fighter to be with.
All right, Freddy Roach, the trainer of Miguel Cotto, thank you very much indeed for your time. And we are joined now by the other part of the main event, translated by Roberto Diaz from Golden Boy Promotions, Saul Canelo Alvarez. Sal, On Saturday, it's not just you against Miguel Cotto. It is Mexico against Puerto Rico. How much more important does that make victory for you?
No, es muy importante, ¿no? La rivalidad entre México y Puerto Rico, el entorno que lleva esta pelea, es muy importante. Es muy importante, es obviamente una gran responsabilidad representar a mi país en una pelea como esta, pero me siento listo para este gran reto, ¿no? Y orgulloso de representar a mi país.
No, it definitely makes it big. I mean, the rivalry between Mexico and Puerto Rico, this is another one to that chapter. There's a great responsibility to be representing my country, but I'm honored, I'm proud, and I'm ready. I'm more than ready.
I know you've said that you've been a fan of Miguel Cotto as a fighter. Was there ever a time when a young Canelo Alvarez was maybe watching TV, maybe watching Miguel Cotto, and you thought, one day I'm going to be fighting him?
Ahí mencionaste en el pasado que has sido fan tú anteriormente de Miguel Cotto. ¿Te cruzó por la mente hace años que algún día tal vez pudiera estar peleando con él?
No, bueno, hace años no me cruzaba por la mente, ¿no? Pero pasaron los años y empezó a ver ese morbo, ¿no? Por hacer la pelea con Miguel Ángel Cotto y bueno, para mí es un honor pelear con alguien como él, ¿no? Que ha ganado todo en el boxeo. Así es como se escriben las historias y estoy muy contento de que estamos a unos días de que así sea.
No, at the beginning, of course not. You know, I watched them and no. But as my career advanced, as I grew, yes, it started coming to my mind. And today we're a few days away, and it's just a great honor because to be fighting someone that has achieved so much in boxing, it's a great honor for me. And if I'm going to be in the records, in the history, I have to beat fighters like Miguel Cotto.
What makes Miguel Cotto such an effective fighter?
¿Qué hace a Miguel Cotto tan buen peleador, tan efectivo?
Él es un peleador con mucha experiencia, es un peleador que combina muy bien, es un peleador inteligente arriba del cuadrilátero y eso es lo que lo hace hacer un buen boxeador, ¿no? Yo creo que si no lo fuera, no estuviera en el lugar que está.
No, well, he has everything. I mean, he has experience, he throws a lot of combinations, he's very intelligent. If it wouldn't be because of all these attributes that he has, he wouldn't be where he is today in boxing.
Finally, what do you have to do to beat Miguel Cotto?
No, bueno, todo. Poner mi experiencia, mi inteligencia, todo lo que sé hacer arriba del cuadrilátero para poder ganarle.
I have to do it all. What I have, intelligence, my strength, my boxing ability. I have to put it all together so I can beat him up in the ring.
That is Saul Canelo Alvarez. He will be taking on Miguel Cotto on Saturday in the main event on HBO pay-per-view. Thank you very much, Canelo, for your time. And we have one more guest to here, and it is Eddie Reynoso, who is Saul Canelo Alvarez's trainer. Eddie, your father said at the podium that you have a saying that fights are won in the gym. Your hand is just raised in the ring. What have you guys done in the gym to make sure Canelo wins that fight? And we'll just wait for Roberto Diaz to come around and translate that.
Tu papá dijo ahorita en la conferencia que las peleas se ganan en el gimnasio, que en el ring solamente es para levantar la mano. ¿Qué es lo que han hecho en el gimnasio para que el sábado en la noche les levanten la mano?
Pues hemos trabajado muy fuerte, hemos repasado todas las cosas que tenemos que hacer, la defensa, la ofensiva, hemos hecho algunos ajustes y como siempre nos trabajamos bastante fuerte y estudiando los rivales para tratar de ganar las peleas.
No, we worked very hard like always. We made some adjustments. We worked on offense, we worked on defense. And like always, we study the opponent, see their strengths and weaknesses so that we can overcome and win the fight.
You've probably heard Freddy Roach make claims. He says he's seen Canelo in the wildcard gym. He doesn't think he trains very well. He doesn't think he's very disciplined. When you hear that, what do you think?
No sé si has escuchado que Freddy hizo unos comentarios que él lo vio entrenar en el wildcard, que no tiene la disciplina, que no entrena muy fuerte. ¿Qué piensas de esas palabras que dijo Freddy?
Pues lo que diga Freddy no me interesa, él le gusta mucho abrir la boca, el que se enfoque en cuidar sus peleadores y uno se enfoca en los de uno. Para llegar a este tipo de nivel se necesita trabajar muy fuerte durante muchos años y yo creo que es una falta de respeto estar hablando de que un peleador no tiene disciplina cuando está en este tipo de peleas.
You know, what he says really doesn't bother me. He sometimes just opens his mouth just to hear himself. He should concentrate on his fighter and what his fighter does. I'll concentrate on mine. If we didn't work hard, if he didn't have the discipline, he wouldn't be where he is today. There's the proof that he works hard and he has discipline, and we work hard.
He's only 25 years old. He has incredible self-confidence. He's a very calm kind of guy. Has he always been like that, or what do you attribute that to?
Solamente tiene 25 años. Es un peleador, una persona muy relajada, muy tranquila, muy positiva y confiada de sí mismo. ¿A qué atribuyes eso? ¿Siempre ha sido así?
Afortunadamente le tocó convivir a él con un boxeador y con otros boxeadores cuando él era chico, que eran campeones mundiales, peleadores muy disciplinados que se entregaban mucho en el gimnasio, muy humildes, y él aprendió mucho de esos boxeadores. Estoy hablando de Oscar Larios.
Fortunately for him, as a little kid, he grew up and lived together with a former world champion who was very humble, who was very disciplined, who worked very hard. So he learned a lot from him, and I'm referring to Oscar Chololo Larios.
Oscar, well known for his fights with Wayne McCulloch, among other great fights. Finally, what are the keys to victory for Canelo?
¿Cuál es la clave? ¿Cuáles son las llaves a la victoria?
Hacer las cosas bien arriba del ring. Hacer las cosas bien arriba del ring, estar bien concentrado y hacer lo que sabe hacer. Él tiene un gran boxeo, tiene muchísimas cualidades y ahora falta que las haga valer el día de la pelea.
To do what he does best in the ring. He has a lot of great qualities. He's very strong, very intelligent. Put it all together and win the fight on Saturday night.
That is Eddie Reynoso. He is the trainer of Canelo Alvarez. Thank you very much indeed for your time. And we are just about done here right now at the Mandalay Bay. I have a couple of programming notes before we finish off. Be sure to check Part 2 of Cotto Canelo 24/7 on HBO. That airs on Thursday at 11 p.m. And if you missed Part 1, you can easily find that. It's on HBO Go, it's on HBO Now, inside HBOboxing.com, all the HBO platforms. On Friday, join us back here at the Mandalay Bay for the weigh-in. That weigh-in show begins at 2:30 Pacific, 5:30 Eastern. Also later on Friday, live on ringtv.com from the Hard Rock Cafe, a battle of young up-and-coming fighters. Diego De La Hoya taking on Giovanni Delgado. That all builds up to the main event on Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. The main event, Miguel Cotto, Saul Canelo Alvarez for the legitimate and lineal middleweight championship of the world. Be sure to tune in and see what should be an exciting middleweight fight. For now, from the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas, Nevada, I am Kira Mulvaney. Thank you very much for watching.
On the next episode of 24/7 Cotto Canelo, training camp comes to an end as their November 21st pay-per-view fight quickly approaches. Both teams must make the final tweaks before they make their way out to Las Vegas. Miguel Cotto and Freddy Roach remain confident as they arrive for fight week, while Canelo Alvarez stays focused on the road ahead. Step into their lives before they step into the ring on the next episode of 24/7 Cotto Canelo, Thursday, November 19th at 11.